And I think I'll go ahead and end this with a nice little pension story. I've been talking about the Dallas pension fund, what an absolute wreck that thing is. And every time there's an update, I got to talk about it. Zero Hedge, of course, covering it naturally. Record number of Dallas police officers quit in July amid ongoing pension crisis. We first introduced readers to the Dallas Police and Fire Pension, or DPFP, crisis last summer in a post titled Dallas Cops Pension Fund Nears Insolvency in Wake of Shady Real Estate Deals FBI Raid. For those who have managed to avoid this particular storyline for the past 15 months, here is a brief recap of how it all started from our original post on the topic. The DPFP, which covers nearly 10,000 police and firefighters, is on the verge of collapse as its board and the city of Dallas struggle to pitch benefit cuts to save the plan from complete failure. According to the National Real Estate Investor, DPFP was once applauded for its diverse investment portfolio, but it turns out it may have all been a fraud, as the pension's former real estate investment manager, CDK Realty Advisors, was raided by the FBI in April of 2016, and the fund was subsequently forced to mark down their entire real estate book by 32%. Yes, it's pretty easy to generate good returns if you manage a book of illiquid assets that can be marked at your discretion. To provide a little background, per the Dallas Morning News, Richard Tetement served as the DPFP's administrator for a couple of decades, right up until he was forced out in June 2014. Starting in 2005, Tetement oversaw a plan to diversify the pension into hard assets and away from the risky stock market, because there's no risk if you don't have to mark your book every day. But by the time the diversification was complete, Tenement had invested half of the DPFP's assets in, effectively, the housing bubble. Investments included a $200 million luxury apartment building in Dallas, luxury Hawaiian homes, a tract of undeveloped land in the Arizona desert, Araguayan timber, the American Idol production company, and a resort in Napa. Despite huge exposure to bubbly 2005 and 6 vintage real estate investments, DPFP assets performed remarkably well throughout the Great Recession. But as it turns out, Tement's performance was only as good as the illiquidity of his investments. We guess returns are easier to come by when you invest your whole book in illiquid private assets and have discretion over how they're actually valued. In 2015, after Tement's ouster, $600 million of DPFP real estate assets were transferred to new managers away from the fund's prior real estate manager, CDK Realty Advisors. Turns out the new managers were not comfortable with CDK's asset valuations, and the markdowns started. According to the Dallas Morning News, one such questionable real estate investment involved a piece of undeveloped land in Arizona in the desert near Tucson, which was purchased for $27 million in 2006 and subsequently sold in 2014 for $7.5 million. Then the plot thickened when, in April 2016, according to Dallas Morning News, FBI raided the offices of the pension's former investment manager, CDK Realty Advisors. There has been little disclosure on the reason for the FBI raid, but one could speculate that it might have something to do with all the markdowns the pension was forced to take in 2015 on its real estate book. At its peak, CDK managed $750 million of assets for the DPFP. The sudden implosion of the fund left active duty Dallas police and firemen wondering whether that pension check they had been counting on to fund their retirement was about to disappear for good, all of which sparked a mass exodus of Dallas police and firefighters eager to lock in their payout rates before they were slashed by the DPFP board. Now, despite the passage of a plan designed to save the pension by the Texas legislature back in May, a record 72 officers decided to quit the force in July. Apparently, they were not convinced that the legislator's plan was going to work. Meanwhile, the steady outflow of officers for over a year now is leading to what many in Dallas are calling a public safety crisis. Well, they're probably realizing, hey, I'm going to be working here for a number of years. I want a pension when I retire. I'm going to move, or I'll stay here and go to another county or city, be a police officer there, where their pension's, a little more up to par. That's what I'm sure is what's happening. According to the Dallas CBS affiliate, Dallas Police Association President Mike Matta and others sounded the alarm months ago. Now, by the end of this month, Mata says 72 Dallas police officers will leave. 70% of them are retiring, and the other 30% are going to make more money at other departments. There you go. We're losing some of our most experienced detectives. The investigator you want to come out and solve that homicide, that you need to come out and solve that sexual assault. Adam McCaw, chairman of the Dallas City Council's Public Safety Committee, is also expressing concern. That's the first of this number I heard of. Anytime we have large numbers of officers leaving, it's concerning, he said. Mata says we're at a critical state and we're not solving the problems that are going to help correct this. That's why I'm a little disappointed in the city manager's budget. No, I don't think this was the city manager's problem. This was the pension company who destroyed all that money. Apparently, these officers can't wrap their heads around how an incremental $40 million contribution from the city of Dallas will solve their pension's $3 billion funding shortfall. And by the way, they aren't the only ones. You're not the only one who thought you had a pension for me. Not the only one. Yeah, that was horrible. I'm out.